Are we on? I think are we on? I think we are on. And let me tell you guys, the World Cup is freaking on. 5-0 Russia beat Saudi Arabia. I didn't think in the world this was going to happen. I'm telling you to be honest, I didn't think this was going to happen. Let me just fix right away this thing here I got going on. Is it mute? Yes, it's mute. I'm waiting out for the preview, waiting up for if it loads up. It says receiving content. Apparently it's working, but let me check. Waiting for what? I'm already live apparently. I want to see the preview. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. Let me check the preview page. The view page. Are we on? We should be on. Oh, it's waiting out because it's 12. It needs to be on point. It needs to be on point. It needs to be at 12 p.m. It's 12 p.m. now. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Is it gonna work? I'm waiting. So I can start out my preview, my reaction here, my impressions of this amazing match. 5-0 Russia beat Saudi Arabia. Like, man, are you killing me? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me or killing me? Both. Because it was such an amazing match, to be honest. It was kind of boring for the first few minutes, but the last three goals, my God, they're just pumped up energy. But I want to check, come on, this is not working. Something is not right. Something is not right. What are we waiting for? Starting, stream healthy. What the fuck? It's supposed to be on. Let me check. Stream now. Apparently, according to my OBS, we're streaming, so I don't see the problem about this. I don't really see the problem. Any problem here. Starting, stream healthy. What the hell, man? What the hell? We're waiting, but where's the video? I'm waiting here. This is streaming, this is on. What the hell is going on? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Dude, it's supposed to be working. It's supposed to be working, but this thing doesn't want to work. I don't know. I see it on my preview, but it doesn't work. I see it on the preview, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's why I'm nervous. That's why I'm freaking nervous. Your current live streams. Yeah, I know. I enter here, I watch, but nothing is going on. It's got me worried. Let me check something. Are we streaming on the right stream key? Yeah. Then what's the problem? Dude, it takes like starting. What the hell? Let me just check. Let me check quickly. I really do not see the problem here. We're supposed to be on. What the fuck, man? What is the problem here? I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. What the hell? What the hell? What the freaking hell? Starting stream. It's already started. What the hell? Okay, so apparently we're on now, and we can start off my live reaction of this crazy match of Russia versus Saudi Arabia. So where do we start now? Where do we start? First of all, I want to welcome you to this format of this new video. I'll be trying this every time after every single match of the World Cup. I'll be trying to cover every single 90 minutes of every match. It can be more than 90 minutes. By the knockout stages. I'm gonna try to make the videos. I'm gonna try to produce this for every single match, so stay tuned, leave us a like, subscribe, and leave me your questions on the chat down below. I wanna hear you about everything you have to say about here, and I'll try to answer your questions. So just stay tuned, and let's get started to it. I know you may be saying shit match, I'll see you, but wait till I talk, I'm saying amazing because of the goals. The goals made this game just a little bit more fun for me. And I'm gonna try to explain it because yesterday I heard a lot of people talking about this match and people were saying shit match and whatever. But I gotta say that, to be honest, when you pitch out to teams that you don't know about their status, you don't know about what's going to happen to them, you just feel that is in an equal level. And I gotta say that I came with that thought here into this match. I thought that Russia versus Saudi Arabia wasn't going to be like this huge 5-0 goal. So my expectations were a little bit lower. Your expectations may have been higher or may have not been met. And that's where I think that we are just different. So to start off right away, I want to talk about different things. Here I have a list of all the stuff I got. I jotted down throughout the match. So first of all, I want to start with the ceremony. It was kind of weird. Did you see Robbie Williams just putting out the middle finger? I was like, what the fuck is that? But the ceremony was kind of there. There wasn't the song of the World Cup, so that was a little bit disappointing for me. But that out of the way and starting out with the match, I gotta say that I was very interested that Russia actually went out straight away with their 4 at the back. Because for the last few friendly matches, they actually played with 5 at the back. But the last time, their last game against Turkey, they actually changed to a 4 at the back. And this gave me kind of a really weird opinion coming into it, because I never thought that the Cherchesov, the manager for Russia, was going to change and spice everything up just that quickly. So well done, because he actually found a very good team in this one. He found players like Gasinski, who scored the very first goal for the header, who before was just a substitute, and he came in and played really well. The same with people such as Roman Sobnin. Sobnin, you may have known from a Villarreal career mode. He was one of our star players in that series, and he came in here for Russia, main CDM, box-to-box midfielder, and really showed what he could do. And I was really impressed with Roman Sobnin all throughout the game. So let me start right away talking about the goal. I gotta say that the goal was a very good goal for an opening World Cup, I gotta say. First of all, it was the crossover from Shirkov. It bounced back of the defender, fall back to Shirkov again, Shirkov to Golovin. Golovin with his cross through the right-hand side with his right foot all over the defense of Saudi Arabia. Some of you Saudi Arabian people out there may say that it was kind of like a foul, but I gotta say it wasn't a foul. Then Gasinski just scores into the back, and then it was all celebrating. We got our first goal of the World Cup, and that was good. I gotta say that something else we saw, if you were watching from TV, we saw Putin and the Sheikh from Saudi Arabia shaking hands, and that tells you a lot, because this is all about football. This is all about football and what it matters for us. So I'm very happy to see that some people, even from the biggest stature, the president, the Sheikh, can really just enjoy something together. At the end of the day, I don't think no one of those two would have thought it would end in a 5-0, but yeah, it's just football. And something else I want to mention about Saudi Arabia in the very first half was that they were very, very attacking, and they seemed very, very promising. They tried to play it against Russia from equals, and I was very surprised about that throughout the entire 90 minutes, because they always played like they were nothing less. And you gotta be very confident about that to play, to know that you're like a lower status team, because obviously Saudi Arabia is one of the worst teams in the World Cup, but overall they showed that they weren't less. They tried to play Russia as they deserved, and they tried to give them a very good match for the starting opener of the World Cup. They actually got 58 possession for the start, Saudi Arabia, so they were good in that sense, and it was very, very nice. At the 29th minute afterwards came something where I think the game just completely divided and gave us a little bit of a perspective of how Russia could play for the next few matches. We saw Alan Zagoev going out injured, so very unfortunate for him. It apparently seems that he's going to be out for the entire World Cup. I've read some news here and there. Nobody's sure about the status of the injury, but it seems really bad. You just stop running, you step in a wrong position, and you're out. So apparently it's just a muscle being torn apart, and that's really, really sad. Although he went out walking, that's a positive thing, but I'm not sure, because apparently he may get back into the World Cup, but by the time he's back, we will be watching the semifinals, and I don't think Russia are gonna make it to the semifinals, so that's the thing. After that, they brought in Denis Cherichev, the Villarreal player, and I gotta say that he was very, very good. He actually went out to the left-hand side of the midfield, and Alexander Golovin, Cherichev decided to put it in behind the striker of Fedor Smolov. And in that, I was very surprised, because Golovin just added a little bit extra of attacking threat to Russia that previously they didn't have. Smolov was a striker which, although they were one of their best players, he was kind of silent throughout. Was very, very silent throughout the entire first half. And the same with the striker of Saudi Arabia, Mohamed El Salawi. Those two were like the biggest number 10s of the match. They were like the most important players. Apparently those were the star man. But at the end of the day, nobody out there, the two strikers from Saudi Arabia and Russia, they weren't anything. They were just silent throughout the match. I gotta agree with you that Golovin was for me the best player in this match. Golovin was absolutely outstanding. 2 assists, 1 goal. First of all, it was 2 assists. I could have seen getting it to Cherichev, because he scored the another golazo. But Golovin was just really, really threatening. All the creative play for the midfield came throughout Golovin, and I was very, very entertained by watching him. I knew that he was going to be a young prospect for this Russian side, but overall, I gotta say that he covered where he needed to be. He always passed the ball to the right place and wasn't afraid of taking shots by himself. And plus, he was also very generous, like we saw for the second goal of Denis Cherichev, which was also a golazo. He got the ball for the right-hand side, and then he passed it on to the middle to Sobnin, and then Sobnin passed it on to Denis Cherichev, and Cherichev just does one cutting, and that was like 2/3 of the goal, because the entire 2 defenders of Saudi Arabia just went out of the play directly, and then he scored an amazing goal to the back of the net. Very, very impressive with Cherichev in that one, and I gotta say that the center back, Osama Hassawi, he was very, very slow. It was a terrible mistake for him. He would just bounce off his foot and gave the complete run onto to Golovin, and that was I was at that moment, I was just seeing like Saudi Arabia was completely disappointed. I would have thought that Saudi Arabia is a team which obviously I want in this channel for all of us to give respect to every single nation, but they play bad. They were really, really bad. Fueron flojitos. That's how you say it in Spanish. They were flojitos. Like they were kind of lazy. You call that in Spanish. So it's unfortunate, because this is the first match and I knew Saudi Arabia wanted to prove something, but at the end of the day, you see the margin and it's 5-0, and that's a lot. That's really, really a lot. So I think that Saudi Arabia's World Cup could be already over, because the next 2 matches against Egypt and Uruguay, they're going to be, if not harder than this match against Russia. I gotta say that the main problem for Saudi Arabia coming into the second half, they seem a little bit better, but the main thing was that they had too many touches. They touched the ball too many things, like they didn't progress anything with attack. They were just staying in the same position. They drifted to the left, to the right, but they never could penetrate the defense of the two 4-man lines of Russia. They could never penetrate that. So in that sense, I think that they should have tried something else. Perhaps bring another striker sooner, because they brought Fahad Al-Mulawat later on, which is another player who came in to try and accompany Mohamed El Salawi at the start front. You have this number 9 and this fast player in behind. But that didn't work also. I thought you need to put more people in attack, or try to even take away from the defense and try to put somebody else in midfield. I know that would be risky, but at the end of the day, you need to fight like it's going to be your last match, because here every single goal, every single result matters. And moving on to later on in the match, I gotta say that Smolov once again was very, very silent, and the manager Cherchesov decided to take Fedor Smolov out and bring in Artem Disyuba. Disyuba has been a player who has scored 8 goals in the last 12 international matches for Russia, so that tells you a lot of how good form he is for the national team. Apparently he was left out of the squad for the Euros between him and a fight with Cherchesov, but apparently they're all well now, because after he came in, just his second touch, he scored that amazing header goal and went straight to Cherchesov and gave him his hand, like saying, I'm here and I'm gonna play for you. And Cherchesov took it and accepted, and they were very, very happy together. They celebrated, and that's what you want to see. You want to see a good atmosphere here, especially when you have your World Cup being in Russia. Not too many people look at you as a good team, but at the end of the day, Russia scored 5, and that's not easy. That's not easy at all, because the other day we saw Peru playing against Saudi Arabia. They only scored 3. Russia here scored 5. And obviously this match was going to be much harder, because Saudi Arabia was going to be playing just harder, because it's going to be the World Cup. This was the real thing, and Russia scored 5. So good job for Artem Disyuba. I think that his inclusion in here was very, very good. And plus, we saw another assist from Alexander Golovin. I think it's time this guy gets a bigger move. He has been playing very good for CSKA Moscow, but he needs to be out there. He needs to be on the main front of Russian football, because he's really that good. I'm telling you, Golovin is just outstanding. But at the end of the day, guys, we're wrapping this up, this live reaction here, and I want to tell you about I want to ask you, how important do you think this is going to be for Russia in the long term? Because Russia in the long term have a good motivation here. They have scored 5 goals, they have a good goal difference. Could this really carry on to the future? Because I'm telling you about, they could face Egypt in the next, they're gonna face Egypt in the next round, in the next match day, and if they get the goal there, they draw or something, the goal difference is going to be really on their favor, because scoring 5 in the World Cup is not easy, and now they have a +5 goal difference. If they draw against Egypt, 1-1 per se, it's going to remain the same, but Egypt needs to be very, very careful now, because their match against Saudi Arabia is going to mean that they need to score 5 or even 6 goals to equalize that of Russia. So Egypt, they have a very big task now. The rod has been handed over to Egypt, and now they need to try and play good. And this was almost like wrapping it up, and now I'm speaking fresh to you guys. And the first thing that I noticed was that, like, after the 3rd goal, I was kind of like resting, because like it was very early here in Peru. And yes, I'm from Peru. I see you guys asking if I'm from Peru. Yes, I'm from Peru. And I was just resting a little bit, just was like my eyes were closing. I was kind of sleepy, but then came the boom, the goal from Cherichev. Like, are you telling me, my God, Cherichev, what the hell? Like, you've been at Real Madrid and you couldn't pull that off. That was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. What a golazo with the three fingers from the outside the boot. Boom. Just from long range into the back of the net. Outstanding goal. And then Golovin. Like, I'm telling you, 91st minute, Golovin in the free kick, and Golovin just had his chance to score a free kick. He just scored the goal and stand there like that, because he knew he was awesome. He got 2 assists, 1 goal, man of the match for me. Outstanding Golovin. Outstanding Golovin. Cherichev as well. Very, very good. And for me, although some people may say this is a bad match, Russia versus Saudi Arabia, and obviously 5-0, it was entertaining. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be entertained. I wanted to be entertained in this match. The World Cup is a festival. It's a reunion. It's the biggest party in football internationally. And I wanted to have fun. And I had fun. So for me, it was a good match. So overall, guys, I want to leave me your comments down below. Leave me your thoughts. Any more questions you have, I'll try to answer them here in the comments afterwards this live stream. So leave me all your thoughts, your questions down below. I'll be staying up here answering your questions for at least half an hour more And that's gonna be it. I'm gonna wrap this up, and I want to leave you with the question: if do you think this result is gonna motivate Russia for bigger things in this remaining match days? Do you think this 5-0 result is gonna be good for Russia? Is this result already giving them a little bit of an opening to pass into the knockout stages? Will they get the second place? What are your thoughts? Also, once again, thank you very much for the support on the last few days. It's been absolutely insane. I'm telling you guys, one of my videos is reaching 20,000 views. 20,000 views. That's a lot. That's just so much for me, and I'm very, very happy to see that you are enjoying my content, and hope to see you around for the next few days. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we're gonna have Egypt versus Uruguay very early in the morning for me. I don't know what hour it is for you guys. Then we're gonna have, if I'm not wrong, Morocco versus Iran, and then afterwards we're gonna see Spain versus Portugal, which is the biggest match in the next few days. So stay tuned for all of that. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao. Thank you very much.